woke up this morning with the flag on my mind. Another Memorial Day, another hill well, I gotta climb. Not for me, but for the ones who never made it home. Left their blood on foreign soil so we don't sleep alone. From the beaches of Normandy to the sands of Iraq, they answered when freedom called, never turned their back. This is Memorial Day, America, let's remember the price, the ultimate sacrifice, paid not once but 1,000 times. For the red, white, and blue, they laid their young lives down so we could keep this country the greatest on God's ground. We owe them more than words, we owe them more than tears, we owe them our freedom every day, every year. They were fathers, sons, daughters and brothers in arms, left behind families with broken hearts and empty arms. Some were barely 18 when they stood on that line, gave their tomorrow so we could have ours, one heartbeat at a time. They fought for the Constitution, for liberty's sweet call. They fought so the wicked wouldn't conquer us all. This is Memorial Day, America, let's remember the price, the ultimate sacrifice, paid not once but 1,000 times. For the red, white, and blue, they laid their young lives down so we could keep this country the greatest on God's ground. Now I'm standing in Arlington where the hillside is covered in stones. Row after row of white crosses, the very best of us, the bravest we've known. Each one tells a story of courage, honor and pain. Each one a hero who walked through the fire and the rain. From Revolutionary War graves to the wars of today, these stones stand silent, but they still have so much to say. Thank God for the soldiers, the Marines, the Navy and Air Force too, the Coast Guard and the National Guard. They bleed red, white, and blue. They don't ask for glory, they don't ask for fame, they just do what's right in freedom's name. We got the strongest military this world has ever seen, because real men and women still stand for the American dream. We got a president who honors them, stands tall and stands true, fights for our veterans like real leaders used to do. He signed the orders, kept the promises made, brought respect back to the flag and the price that was paid. No more apologies for being strong, no more hanging our heads. We're bringing back American pride from sea to shining sea again. So let the bugle play taps real slow across these hallowed hills. Let the tears fall for the fallen, let the silence give us chills. They didn't die for nothing, they died so we could be the last best hope on earth, land of the brave and home of the free. To every Gold Star family hurting on this day, know your loved one's sacrifice will never fade away. Their names are written forever on the heart of this land. They gave everything so freedom could stand. We'll teach our children what real heroes look like. Not the ones on TV, but the ones who carried that rifle. This is Memorial Day. America, let the whole world see. We will never forget what they did for you and me. For the red, white, and blue, they gave their last full measure. These heroes sleep in Arlington, this nation's sacred treasure. From the hillside of stones, where the bravest now rest, we salute you, we thank you. May God bless the very best. Yeah, we salute you. We thank you. God bless America. And God bless the men and women who made her free.
All right, hello everybody. We are here, and it is that time. Hello, hello, hello. Yellow. I got some really cool stuff tonight. There's not a whole lot of big breaking news, but we're going to continue to cover it. I've said that twice this week, and by the end of the show, we had all kinds of stuff happen. So, if you guys can keep an eye out for breaking news, please do. A lot of times, once I get in show, I no longer have the ability or the time to continuously be checking all my news sources. So once I'm in show, you know, I really need you guys as my eyes and ears out there. So if you're coming in and you've heard of something, just say, hey, you guys heard about the warehouse fire or whatever, so that we can make sure that we're getting all of the news to you the best we can. All right, Delaney, we've got, they're out and protesting in force out at Delaney Plaza.
I'm bitching about
this
the
is what that
Democrats.
sounds like.
I'm like, we just don't have proper representation anymore. You know, as long as they're all being
That's
paid the
out
fuck
at
off,
Delaney
man,
Plaza,
like,
and they're Delaney Hall. That's in Newark, New Jersey, and there's about 8 of them out there, maybe 10 if you count the camera guys. So once again, I don't. Yeah, there's about 10 people out there.
like even white supremacy. I always talk about white supremacy a lot. But even if you got rid of racism, even if you got rid of white supremacy,
yeah, we also have a state and also some other places that are going to be banning it, banning fireworks for the 4th of July. And I have to admit, I see both sides of this coin. I've been the chief of a fire department where we had to ask our board to enact a rule that people stop burning in our area. So I've been there. But I also know that government tends to overreact, generally always. So I don't know. To outlaw fireworks for the 250th anniversary 4th of July seems pretty bad to me, but we'll have to see. I don't know. It seems pretty bad to me, and we'll talk about that a little later as well. I'm showing smooth sailing, and I'm broadcasting at full bandwidth, so it may be something between you and I, Dom. I will be live on the 4th of July. We're going to have great coverage here. I am working in the afternoon producing a live show from, I think, like 1 to 3 p.m., and that's it. And I plan to go live probably around 6 p.m., maybe 5. I don't know. I want to get up live before all the fireworks start. We are going to carry coverage of what's going on all over the country for July 4th. And we'll have screens up from all the different functions and fireworks things that are going on, everything that's going on. So if you have no one to go spend 4th of July with, our nation's 250 anniversary. What did I see it? The biquincentennial? I think it's, I'll have to look it up again. It's the biquincentennial, I think. But anyway, the point is if you don't have anybody to spend it with, come here and spend it with us. We're going to be covering it like we always do. I'm already starting to work on my new music for this week. All next week, we're going to have patriotic music, but not our normal stuff. I'm actually making about 6 new songs for next week, all about the 250th of America. It's going to be pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, I think it'll be good. You know, I don't have anywhere else to go that night or anything else to do, so we're going to do it here. It'll be good. I think we'll get a big crowd that night. All right, let's see. Man, it's been hot. The heat is on. Anyway, so we're going to get to all that tonight, too. Anyway, my name is Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. And on tonight's adventure, we're going to be looking at a lot of different things. As far as weather goes, we do have some storm chasers out tonight, but they're not a whole lot going on, but we're going to take a look at that. You can see the circles popping up. Those are severe thunderstorm watches, and the green ones are flood watches. The small square ones are warnings. Those are warnings. So you can kind of tell from this where the watches and the warnings are. Now, we do have a couple of big cells here with one tornado warned cell, and we do have a storm chaser out in front of this, Brandon in Montgomery. Look at that, giving us a hell of a shot back towards the storm. There you go. He's out in front of this thing. He's just the other side of Sayre, and this thing just passed south of Wheeler, heading east-southeast. And we are just entering into Oklahoma here in the next few minutes. This is the Oklahoma line. We are going to be heading into Oklahoma next out of Texas. All right, but this is our big storm, and we do have a storm chaser on it, and he's looking back towards the sunset. Sometimes this gets us some really neat images, so we're going to stay with him and see how this goes. Oh, Dom, I didn't know they were activating anything or doing anything for the 4th. I remember New Year's 2000. We activated our center and we're standing by just because we had no idea what was going to happen with the Y2K bug and with the fact that it was a whole new century and everything else. But yeah, I didn't realize that we were doing that for this one. Some years we used to call all the guys in on July 4th, anybody we could get to come in, because the fireworks would go up, the brush fires would start. One of the worst fires I worked in my area, we lost some boats and cars and stuff, but no houses. But that was on the 4th of July, 1988, 4th of July, 1988. And we had a scant crew at the station. There was 2 of us working, and I think maybe 6 volunteers, and we went out there and gave it our all. We kept putting out the all call over and over that we were needing help. Finally, some drunk guys showed up and brought the rest of the trucks out. Anyway, that was Fourth of July. No, that was that was a Fourth of July. So I can remember back during these times when we're unsure what's going to happen. So we'll go ahead and activate a few things here and there just to make sure we're ready. Hey, what's going on? Dehydrated water. It's been a little while. Glad you're back. Hey, Jungle, Dom, Dispatch. Hello, everybody tonight. I'm glad you guys are all here. Canna Club, Victor, thank you guys for being here as well. And Snow Baby, who else did I miss? I'm going back. Deborah, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate that. And Matt, I think I got everybody. Holy crap, lots of folks in tonight. Thank you, everybody. All right. So yeah, we're gonna watch this here. Boy, that's some neat lightning that we're seeing in that storm. I'm gonna remove this and move this over, and I'm gonna give us a bigger view of what's going on out there. There we go. That's gonna be it's gonna be pretty one way or the other. We'll see what happens. All right. The clock tonight is not working. I don't know what's wrong, and I didn't have time to troubleshoot it. All right. So last night, as you know, I had all kinds of issues with the computer, with the screens, with the browsers, with YouTube itself. I had issues with my pump not working, my air conditioner not working. Guys, there's something about things. I got up today and came out here, and I put a new plug on my air conditioner. The fuse plug had gone bad, so I hacked this off and I went and bought another one, 220 volt plug, and the reset went bad in it. That was what was wrong on my air conditioner. So the air conditioner's up, it's running. I put a plug on it. I got me a really nice voltage meter for 30 bucks because I needed it anyway. My last one, I don't know where it's at. It was a mess. It was crap. So I got me a brand new voltage meter. I'm very happy with this one. Commercial electric. I got this at Home Depot today. Something else I got today. A little system I got. Look at this. It's got plugs on the end down here. You plug this into the wall. You plug your lights or whatever you want into this, and then it's got a remote control. And what I'm using it for is because when I get done with this show at night, it takes me 10 minutes to shut everything down and get everything. So what I've done is I'm slowly getting all of my lights in here on this so that hopefully in the next few days I'll have this one. This one's going over here. I got one over here for all of these lights, and I got one back there for all of those lights. And it's gonna be nice because when I get in here at night now, I can just hit 3 buttons, boom, 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 and all my lights come on. And then when I'm done and I'm ready to go to bed, boom, 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 all the lights go off. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool, Canna Club. Don't get me started on Apple. They've been fleecing their customers for too long. But they are correct in the fact that the prices of making computers has gone up. It's gone up dramatically. Why has it gone up? Well, it's gone up because of AI. Memory chips are sky high right now, and video cards are sky high right now. Those are the two things that are in highest demand when we're building new AI machines. So they're a mess. However, what's happening is the prices are starting to drop. Why? Well, because it's called supply and demand. Okay, and when the Chinese factories all started realizing a few years ago, hey man, the price of these memory chips just is skyrocketing. So over in China, they're building factories at twice the rate we are. They're building AI factories, robot factories, and also AI plants, different places. And what they're doing is they're getting out ahead of this thing. You see what I mean? And so they're going to build the chips at a much faster rate. that brings the supply up, that brings the demand and the price down. And that's where we're starting to get into that territory right now, where the prices are starting to wane off a little bit because of the fact, not necessarily that there's been any drop in need, it's not that, but there's been an increase in availability, and that will bring the price down. And so that's where we're at with that. It's the same thing that happens with gasoline. When the ships are moving, everybody pays less for gas. It's basically the same thing. We have chips, we just don't have enough to go around, so it takes a long time to get them, which means they jack the prices way up to hell and back. And so this will come down. There's so many places starting to make these chips now that they should be back down close to the levels that we were at before here in a year or so, hopefully. I'm looking to build my first AI machine, and I can't do it right now. The prices are still astronomical, but they have come down. Yeah, tomorrow's the last day of the Amazon Prime, Amazon days. Yeah, I was going to look at that too. Let me check something real quick here. I ordered a Samsung S20 phone today and a case for it. So I spent a couple $100 over there today. Wow. Yeah, there's a UV32 right there that comes with the big antenna, the small antenna, the case that it goes in, the drop-in charger, the earpiece, everything you need. Like I said, with both antennas, $37. That's so awesome. Yeah, you can find some deals in here. You can get pairs of them for $60. Oh, I put UV50. There is no UV50. Let's try half that much. Yeah, the UV25s, the full 11 watt version of the UV25 is $48. Here we go. 11 watt tri-power, tri-band UV25, $41. You can buy a the UV21R, which is a nice little radio with both antennas and all the stuff that comes with it, drop-in charger, charging cable, and it's $22. So yeah, I mean, if you've never bought one of these and you want to get one and start screwing around with it, this would be when to do it. Just remember, buy one that comes with a programming cable. If you take the time to look around and find one that comes with more stuff, because the radio is the same. So as long as you're looking at the same radio, find one that comes with the most accessories for the least amount of price. We had a third disclosure. I don't know if there's been another one today. No, I haven't seen one, but there's been 3 disclosures, including the one early last week. Yep. Let's see here. Okay, so now's a good time to go get one of these. All right, so there's that. So what else is going on? They got this. This was an interesting thing, and I haven't gone all the way through this yet, so this will be fun. Let's do it. Lincoln Memorial. It actually has a 15,000 square foot undercroft, an opening, and it's now open to the public after a century of being closed to humans. The cavernous space beneath the iconic monument features interactive exhibits and original copy of the 13th Amendment. What is this? Does this show anything? Of course, there's an ad. It sucks. I have to watch an ad to see if it's worth showing you guys something. All right, let me see if I can give me just a second, because everything's a pain in the ass. I did get my other screen worked this morning when I woke up. Everything went back to normal. Like I said, I had the gremlins last night, I think. I had a case of the gremlins. Definitely the gremlins.
National Lawn Memorial. Hello, I'm Kevin Grease. I'm the superintendent of the National Lawn Memorial Parks here in Washington, D.C. I'm here to announce that on the 25th of June, we're going to have a grand opening of the Lincoln Undercroft. What's a Lincoln Undercroft? It's a museum that's underneath the Lincoln Memorial. 15,000 feet of exhibits, physical interactive exhibits, videos, bookstore, the Emancipation Proclamation, the 13th Amendment, original ones signed. We have graffiti from the original workers back in the 1920s. What is the graffiti? Well, you got to come on down and find out. 25 June, Lincoln Undercroft under the Lincoln Memorial. Come on down.
Well, there you go. It looks like it looks pretty cool. I wish, I hate to say this, but I really didn't know if I was going to get back to DC or not. DC, like so many places, has become very expensive. And although I use the Old Town Trolley and it's not so bad to get around, I don't know. Now I want to go back. I want to go see this really bad. So. Oh, Dom, you're activating for the games. Okay, that's cool. Hey Heath, what's up, buddy? Hey Cherokee. Yeah, we've got a few sporadic ones here. People are starting to buy them at the tents. We were heading for a bad drought this year, and then it just didn't materialize. We ended up getting a bunch of rain a few times. And it's kept it under control. We're like a 2 out of 5 right now, a 1 out of 5. It's not a bad drought here right now, thank God. Okay, so anyway, what a neat project, guys. Visitors will be able to explore the newly unveiled Lincoln Memorial Undercroft, a sprawling 15,000 square foot museum located directly beneath the iconic monument, for free with advanced reservations. You do need a reservation, but it is free. Generally speaking, in DC, if it's federal or if it's Smithsonian. Okay, and one would argue those are kind of together. But they're two separate things. If it's federal or if it's Smithsonian, there's no charge. So you got to watch when you go to DC. Make sure that you know what you're going to see. Some things require a fee, where most things do not. I'll be honest, if you're going for 1 or 2 days, you could stay in all the free stuff and you would be seeing the better stuff, in my opinion. If I was going to DC today and you say, look, I got 1 day in DC and for the rest of my life, that's all I'm going to get is 1 day in DC, what would you see? I got to tell you guys, I'm very specific. I would see the Air and Space Museum. I know it's crazy. Call me a fruitcake. You could spend a whole day in this place, but you could go in and knock it out in a few hours and then move on to something else. But you've got to see the Air and Space Museum, Smithsonian Air and Space. They just they're about finished remodeling it, and it's going to be amazing when they get done. It's an effed up, jacked up mess, but they'll have it done. And when they finish it, right inside the main entrance, just like always, will be the 16-foot shooting model of the USS Enterprise from the original series of Star Trek. It is going to still be displayed in the Smithsonian because nothing has inspired more people to space than that ship. And so it will be there. It's been in their ownership for many, many years. They've taken very good care of it. It's all LED lit now, and it will be prominently displayed once they get that done. So Air and Space Museum, for sure, to go see all that stuff. They've got everything from Kranz's vest to the spacesuit that was worn by whoever. I mean, they've got it all, and it's an amazing place. So that's one place you have to go. Where else do you have to go? The war memorials. You owe it to them. I'm sorry, but Vietnam. You have to walk down that wall. You have to walk down that wall. It will humble you. And then on the other side of the mall, on the other side of the Lincoln, the Korean Memorial. And I'm going to tell you, of all the memorials, the World War II, the World War I, I've been to them all, okay? Multiple times, some of them. I've been to all the different memorials down there. The most amazing, chilling, and awe-inspiring memorial of all time is the Korean Memorial. It literally has like soldiers in their rain gear with their radios and their guns walking, and you literally kind of walk amongst them. And the wall, there's a wall there like the Vietnam Wall, but on this wall, it's all their faces etched into the wall. It's amazing. And then they've got their names down there too. I don't know. I love those memorials. I think it's so important to bring people there and show them those memorials. And of course, the Lincoln. Would I go up in the Washington? No, I would no longer go up in there. It's a risk I wouldn't take. That place has been subjected to some pretty bad earthquakes, and although I guess it's probably pretty safe. I was up there once when I was 15, and that shit's claustrophobic up there. And after knowing what happened to it and seeing the videos from inside it during that earthquake, no, thank you. I think I'm good. Now, you're like, well, you never mentioned the Capitol or the White House. No, I didn't. Those are difficult to get into. Those require processes and all kinds of stuff to get into. Not money, but processes, times, schedules. You got to do this and do that. And so it doesn't interest me as much. I'll be honest. I would rather the war memorials and the Air and Space Museum. And then probably the next thing after that is the two big museums of natural history and man-made history. There's the National Smithsonian Museum of Natural History, which is everything, the largest collection of taxidermied birds I've ever seen in my life. They got like everything there. It's really cool. But it's all about everything that doesn't have to do with man. And then there's the Smithsonian Museum of Man, basically. That's not the exact name. But they've got some really neat stuff in there. As a firefighter, I really enjoyed seeing one of the first steamers that was ever out on the roads in Chicago. They actually would stoke the steamer with coal on the way to the fire, and that steam would then be used to pump the water. They called it a steamer. It was horse-drawn. And they've got it sitting there. You can actually see it. they've got some really neat stuff there, guys, in that in the Human Museum, whatever it is. One of the things that I don't know why, but one of the things that stuck with me was, do you guys remember on 9/11 there was that shot? There was a cameraman, and he was with those guys, the firefighters, and they were showing the cameraman how to test the hydrant, I think they were doing, or something. They were out on the street doing a story with someone from the media, or with one of their own guys. I'm not even sure. But do you remember the plane went over and he tilted up and caught one of the only really good shots of the first plane going in? Now, the second plane, we have 1,000 shots of the second plane going in. But this was like, he moved the camera up past the guys, and you saw the plane go in, and you hear the fireman going, holy shit! That piece of film right there is iconic, okay? The camera that shot that piece of film is sitting in that Smithsonian. You can walk up and see it. It's right there. Now, I know, okay, 25 years it's been now, but I watched that piece of footage 1,000 times, and I actually got to see the camera that took it. They got all kinds of neat stuff that you wouldn't expect them to have. But they've got stuff from the wars. They've got great sections. And if you're not into the war stuff, go to the other sections. You know, there's so much to see there. Great cafeteria. I don't know. I love DC. I do. But I've just told you really all the stuff I love. Now, there's some things my mom and I would love to go back. I took her up there one time a while back, and she had a great time. She had only been there one other time. And so it was pretty cool. We did a lot of neat things. But there's a few things we want to do that we have not been able to do. One of the, and I missed something, by the way. Go see the Constitution. Go see you got to see it with your own eyes. You have to look at it with your own eyes. It's so important. It's the most important piece of paper in the entire world ever. And you can go see it with your own eyes. So that's an important one too. But there's a few things we didn't get to see. I've seen that a couple of times. There's a few things we didn't get to see. And that's Lincoln's Theater. Also, the Air and Space Museum has a big, huge aircraft hangar airport museum outside of D.C. in Virginia. And you can go see that for a nominal fee, I think, to park or something. You can go and see that museum. And I believe the one of the Wright brothers planes is hanging in there. They've got some really neat stuff in that museum. Yeah, if someone has never seen DC, you need to get them there. I know it sucks. It's a liberal town, but I will say Donald Trump's cleaned it up. The crime rate is down 500% or some crazy number. It's amazing. Conservatives in charge. People aren't getting raped and murdered every day. It's kind of amazing. But yeah, you can go in there. If you've never been, you need to go. There's a couple things you need to know. Old Town Trolley, I think it's called. They're the ugly orange and green trolleys and buses that run all around. They've got them in St. Augustine. They've got them in a few other towns. I forget which ones. One in Texas, I think. But it's a trolley service, and you pay them $50 for the day, and then you can get on and off their trolleys anywhere in the system, anywhere, anytime, no questions asked, as much as you want for 10 hours. So it's really not a bad deal, because if you figured $50 for me, $50 for her, that's $100 we spent on trolley tickets. I just spent that on 3 Uber rides, you know. Uber's expensive up there. And what's neat about the trolley service is you get on the trolley service and you just ride. That's how you rest. The wind's blowing, it's nice, and that's how you take a rest from all the walking. You get on the tram and you take the tram all the way around DC, and you get to see all the things, and the person driving the bus will tell you all about the things. And you know what's neat? each driver has a completely different thing they talk about. It's kind of neat. One driver, all he talked about was the like early times of DC. He talked about the foggy bottoms and how they developed DC and all that. And everywhere we went, this is when they developed that and they developed that. The next person we had was like a Civil War buff, and he told us everything about the Civil War, where this was being built here during the Civil War and this and that. And then the next person we got was this young person that was telling us about all the nightlife around DC. You can go here, you can do this, you can do that. There's bars, there's neat things to do. And then the next person was this black lady. She told us the entire black history of DC, which I thought was amazing, stuff I had no idea. And so by the time we got done, after 2 days of taking this tram around and around and around, we knew the place. It was amazing. So I definitely suggest a trolley service, especially if somebody in your party doesn't have a whole lot of stamina. Hi, Tony. You gonna say hi to everybody? I don't even know if everybody knows you. Hey guys, this is Tony Todd. He's named after the famous actor Tony Todd. Isn't that right, buddy? That's right. This is Tony Todd. He's another one of my cats. He's one of my outdoors. Very tame. He was born here on the property. We took his mama in. He was the only one in the litter. And he's been here now. I think we've had him about 7, 8, 9 years. I don't know. What you doing, town? He's an orange and white. He's a good old kitty. He don't come in much, but he wanted to come in today, so I let him in. Mama's not happy. Mama's sitting over there pouting. She's like, I don't want that orange bastard in my room. Yep. Robert E. Lee's plantation is actually Arlington National Cemetery. You guys can actually see, you can walk inside Robert E. Lee's home. The one that he basically left when he went to fight for the South. And there's a whole rich history behind that. The best view of D.C., the very best view of D.C., bars none, hands down, is from the back porch of that house. It looks right over the mall and the Potomac and DC and the Jefferson. You can see everything from up there. It's absolutely amazing. Yes, I love Carlotta and I both love Tony Todd. She loved him from the Candyman movies and some of the other work he's done. But I love him. I don't know if you guys know, he's big in Star Trek. Do you guys know who he played in Star Trek? He played Kern, which is Worf's brother. He played in I think 12 or 13 different episodes on Deep Space Nine, as well as on The Next Generation. But yeah, he played. He's dead now. He passed away a while back. But he played. Would you stop? You're just knocking everything over. I'm about to put you out. It's like a bull in a china shop. Jeez. Yeah, he was great in Star Trek. You know who else he played? He played a Herodian hunter in Voyager. He played a Herodian hunter. And he had you'll know the voice when you hear him. He played, I know what you're thinking of. He played in one of the best Deep Space Nine episodes there was, and he played the older Jake Sisko, Commander Sisko's son. He played Commander Sisko's son at like age 65 or whatever. There was an issue, and Captain Sisko disappeared, and he would reappear every so often, and they figured it all out, and it's a great episode. It's called The Visitor, And if you've never seen a Deep Space Nine episode, you could probably start with this one. One of the best. It ends with him telling his story to a novelist that's going to write his story for him. And I'm not going to tell you the end because it's so good. Tony Todd, some of the best acting he ever did was in that episode called The Visitor, Deep Space Nine. But like I said, he was also on Voyager. He was also on The Next Gen. So 3 different series. I don't think he was on Enterprise, but I'm not sure. He loved Star Trek. Tony Todd loved Star Trek. This one, not so much. But yeah, the big one, yeah, he loved Star Trek. Wasn't it a tearjerker? Oh my God, I love that episode. You know, I'm normally a shoot 'em up bang bang, you know, phasers and grenades. But man, damn, that was a good episode. You know what? I'm a sucker for those. Because do you know the one, I like Inner Light from The Next Generation. Inner Light, the one where Picard is scanned by a probe, and in a matter of 15 minutes, he lives an entire life on another planet. And then he wakes up. And then when they open the probe, the instrument that he played, the Ruskin, the instrument that he played was in the probe, and he got to keep it. And then later almost fell in love with Commander Darren because he played it and she heard it, and that's another episode. But the point is the Inner Light. If you want a heart, just from the heart episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, the Inner Light. It's one of my favorite episodes. Of course, I think yesterday's Enterprise is probably my absolute favorite episode. Hold on, I'll be right back. There's a bunch of lights out in my yard. Stand by, guys. I'll be right back.
Well, howdy, patriots, from sea to shining sea. It's time to sing a Trump, crushing the socialist spree. He's the boss in the White House, making America great, while Dems flail in failure, sealing their fate. Pro-democracy hero took a bullet for us all, bringing freedom worldwide. Hear the liberty call. Trump's building walls high, securing the border tight, over 400 miles strong, keeping threats out of sight. Economy booming, 7 million jobs in the bag, unemployment at rock bottom, family incomes on the rise, no lag. Tax cuts permanent, no tax on tips or overtime pay. One big beautiful bill signed on Independence Day. Energy dominant, drilling for oil and gas, affordable prices kicking green extremism's ass. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Trump's crushing the socialist foe, making Dems look silly, watch their empire crumble low.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I thought I saw a car go down my road with like lights on the roof blinking or something. I walked out there and it's completely quiet and dark, so I don't know what's going on. I figured, you know, it was like this, and I don't know what was going on. I'm like, I just see lights flying. What's going on, Tony? Oh my God, there's lights flashing. Oh my God, what's going on? What is it? Oh my God. Man, we got a hell of a crowd going. What's up, guys? Good evening, everybody. It Just Works. Quake, thank you guys for being here. Moon Goddess, thank you for coming in. Appreciate that. You guys throw a like and a subscribe on there. And if you really like what I do, my memberships are $2. I'm just asking for a little teeny bit of help. It helps my algorithms as well. So I just putting it out there. It's $2. It's a real easy way to just give me a little help with equipment and stuff. Everything I make on advertisement, supers, and on memberships, 100% gets rolled back into wireless air cards and camera equipment and remote stuff, and stuff that I use to bring you guys better shows and also for future shows. So pretty cool. I do appreciate all the help. I don't ask for or beg for money, but when it comes, I graciously accept it and I use it for a good cause. All right. All right, so let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, he's got a great shot of this storm, guys. I mean, we're watching this on the radar. This is, of course, on WeatherWise, which is the radar I use, WeatherWise. It's currently under a severe thunderstorm warning and watch. And we've got Brandon Montgomery up. We're watching him now. And this is about to pass right by him. But currently not tornado warned right now. It's not tornado warned. Let's go ahead and just take a quick peek. What does this thing look like on the radio velocity? Let's take a look. Let's find a local radar. There's one. All right. So there is some rotation there, but they're saying it's not enough to get them really all that concerned. But there is some rotation there, and from this angle, you can see the rotation as well. So it's rotating, like I said, but it's currently not tornado warned. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Let me go back to the reflective radar. And then let's put this back in motion here. When you start seeing the pinks and the whites in the reflective radar, that's usually hail cores. That's some hail coming down through the storm. All right. Well, Merlin, you don't have to buy the membership. I'm not even, it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just glad you're here. You're one of my mods. That's great. You don't have to buy a membership. I would never shame anybody into buying a membership or say anything like that because, hey, I've never bought a YouTube membership in my life. So I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to pressure you guys. I just wanted to mention it. It's all good, though. Don't worry about it, please. Matter of fact, I want you to use it for better things if you've got other things to use it for. No, he usually comes in towards the end. And I'm pretty much convinced that that's Lead Farmer. He has the same exact trolling style. Oh, you know what that truck was I saw with the lights? It's mosquito control. That's right. They're driving around. They got a pickup truck with a 300-gallon tank on the back. And they've got this, it's like a 5-horse Briggs and Stratton that runs back there. And what it ends up doing, well, hey, Yanni, thank you. My goodness. All right. Yanni just bought 5 of you guys memberships. So thank you very much, Yanni. I really, really appreciate that. Disney for the Wind, Gold Claw. John Extra Santos. John Dexter Santos, and also Kimberly Roper. I'm sorry, I have a hard time when there's no space between the words. Kimberly, and also Robbie Batista. Thank you for coming in, everybody, and thank you guys for being here. And you just got a free membership for 1 month from Yanni. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Kat, did you just spin my radar or something? Leave my radar alone, kitty. All right, just making sure I'm right side up here. Jeez. This radar has a way you can tilt it too. Look at this. You can do the whole 3D thing and all that. But I don't use all that much. I don't. Well, there they are, guys. There's your storm chaser. He's out there. He's got his camera up. He's getting some great shots of this storm coming by. Yeah, thanks again, Yanni. I really appreciate that. Yeah, she tried to get you. He tried to get. Yanni tried to get you on. I'm sorry, people. I am so bad about gendering, misgendering, not gendering, properly gendering, freaking gendering. I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. You know, another thing I like about Star Trek, they got rid of the genders. You know, you talk about the left, how they've got like Z, Zer, and if, or this and that and the other thing. Hey, Moon Goddess, thank you very much for joining up. Welcome aboard. Yeah, you got these trolls, man, you know, they're something else. Yep. All right, so yeah, that's this is a great shot of this storm. There's some interesting outcroppings down there below the front of it there, but I don't think there's any tornadoes coming down yet. But man, there's a lot there. This is a nasty storm. All right. Oh, those trolls all deserve it. Yes, thank you for the super chat, Moon Goddess. Appreciate it. All right, so what else are we talking about? I did want to talk about. I did want to mention, while I'm mentioning places that you really should see before you die, what I call bucket list stuff. I've still got stuff on my bucket list. I still want to go out to Alaska and see the Aurora Borealis in the winter. If I do ever make decent money, if I can ever get to the point where I have some good money, where I can go and do things I normally wouldn't get to do, I want to stay in the ice igloos. I want to stay in the glass igloos up in the north, way up in the north. In the they bring you up there in ice planes and shit. And you stay a week in this place, and they're like igloos that are down in the ground, but the whole roof is glass. They're absolutely amazing, and I want to stay there so bad. And unfortunately, it's extremely expensive. I'm just going to show you a Google image page so you know what I'm talking about. But this is what I'm talking about. Here it is. Look at this, guys. These are places you can go stay. These are literally places that you can go freaking stay, okay? And when you look out the sky, if the aurora's out, you see the Aurora Borealis from right there in your bed. You're laying under it. Yeah, I want to stay a week in this place right here. This one's one of my favorites. Look at this. Isn't this cool? I mean, tell me that's not cool, right? Look at that, guys. Tell me you don't want to stay there. I mean, you talk about a cool place. This would be like the coolest place ever to go stay. And so I've got this little thing going where before I die, I want to go stay. I want to stay in the glass igloos. You're about to go out, dude. You have no idea how you're about to go out. Knocking all my shit over. I literally have things all over the floor. This cat's like a bull in a china shop. He just, if he's got an itch, he just turns around and clears the table off so he can get to that itch. A douche canoe. Yep, the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. I would love to see that one as well. Look at these places, guys. How in your right mind could you not want to stay here? Talk about going somewhere where nobody's ever going to knock on your door. I could live here forever. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys these. There's the Super Primo one right there. God, I'd love to have a week in that. Absolutely amazing. All right, well, I just wanted to show you guys that. I don't think you guys are as impressed as I am, but that's okay. All right, so where were we? Let's go back here and take a quick peek at what we got. I do have a couple of other stories. Utah, believe it or not, the red state of Utah bans July 4th fireworks statewide over wildfire concerns ahead of America's 250th birthday. Local leaders can still designate safe areas for displays, but the ban in Utah takes effect July 2nd. That's what I would do. I'd find the biggest grass field in my county, and I would designate it a fireworks safe zone, and I would cordon off 20 acres of it, and tell people you can go out here, space out, you can set up your picnics, your tents, and set off your fireworks, and bring 3 or 4 brush trucks out there, have them on standby, and that way we can compromise. That's a good compromise right there. Something government doesn't do, but they should. Look for a way so that the kids can have their fireworks, so that the adults can celebrate what's very important to them, which is this country's, what do I call it, a biquincentennial, whatever the hell. We can celebrate that with our fireworks if we want to. If you have it out in a big field with no woods nearby, and you got 3 or 4 brush trucks sitting there, no problem, right? Yeah, guys, don't cell phones. Get out of them contracts. Get out of those contracts. They are raping you. Take it from me. All right. I just bought a Samsung S20 today, an S20, for $150. And right now, Verizon is still charging you $800 for that phone. And what they do, what these GD effing cell phone companies do, excuse my almost bad language, what they do is they get you locked into these contracts, and you don't need the contracts. You know, the phones are cheaper on a pay-as-you-go. I went pay-as-you-go 10 years ago, and I pay nothing for. I pay for 3 cell phones, right? $88 a month. It was $92. It went down $4. I don't even know why. $88 a month. That's after taxes. That's after everything. Why? Because I went to Metro by T-Mobile, and I brought in my phone that I own. I got no insurance on it because that insurance is a racket. I'll explain that in a minute. Let's go back to that in just a minute. I walked in there with a phone that I own that I paid $150 for, and and it's an unlocked phone, okay? And I handed it to him. I said, I want this to work on your system. And I brought 3 phones in. Okay, they'll sell you a cheap phone there for $100 if you want to do it that way. They'll sell you a nice phone for $500 if you want to do it that way. but you're not going to get a good deal on the phone doing it that way. Those $150 phones that they're selling, those cheapies that they sell, you can buy them for $50 all day long on Amazon. Don't waste your money. So, in other words, you walk into a Metro by T-Mobile or walk into some place that does prepaid. I think T-Mobile will do prepaid now. Buy a phone. Make sure it says unlocked. Buy the phone, walk in there, and get you an account and pay as you go and pay your first month. I pay $88 a month after taxes. That's total bill for 3 phones, unlimited, with 10 gigabytes of hotspot per phone. You can't beat that deal anywhere. I have family that's paying $140 a month per phone right now because they got insurance on the phone, they got a mortgage on the phone, they got to make payments on the phone, and then they got the service on top of that, which is a lot more. And so they're paying $400 or $500 for 3 phones. And I'm like, I pay $88 and I get the exact same thing you guys do. My towers work just as good as yours. My service is as good. My bandwidth is as good. So, my God, get out of those contracts. That's how they really hurt people. You know, they used to extort you by not giving you your phone number. They have to give you your phone number now. If you're with Verizon and you decide you want to go with Metro by T-Mobile or something like that, you are allowed now to take your phone number with you, and they will assist you in doing that. 3 lines, as long as it's unlimited, 3 lines for $75 is a good deal. Also, you'll notice they'll tell you, well, you get 3 lines for $100, but when your bill comes, it's $142.50 because they don't tell you about all the taxes and everything else. What I like about where I go is it's all rolled in. I get a number after tax. I know exactly what my bill's going to be, $88. There's nothing added to it. There's no extra fees. There's no insurance. There's no loan on the phone. Yeah, but see, they tell you you get free phones, but they're not free phones. You're paying for them. I could get 2 phones, unlimited, for $50, $53 or something. So it's not that the phones are free, it's just they're mortgaging them to you over a year. And let me tell you the racket on the insurance. Cell phone insurance is always a racket. It's a racket. Okay? Your deductible on that phone is either going to be $100, $150, $200, $250, $300, depending on who you're with and what plan you have, right? Deductibles are always over $100. You want to know why? They don't insure your phone. Dude, if you qualify, okay, they just mail you a refurbished phone. I don't think people realize that. They get them right off of Amazon like everybody else or whatever. And they just mail you another phone. Oh, look, my insurance paid for another phone. Yeah, that insurance cost you $200 last year, $300, $400 last year. And you still had to pay a $100 deductible on a phone that they were able to get for $100. So everything they make on insurance is gravy for them. Everything they make on insurance is gravy train for them. Because when your phone actually breaks and you pay the deductible pays for the next phone. It's just a cash grab. It's a total cash grab. Well, if your deductible's $50, You know, I would just buy a $50 phone off of Amazon, a cheap phone, and just give him that. Buy 3 of them, have him sitting there ready for him when he needs them. Just change his SIM cards out. Yeah, I think of all of them, I think AT&T is the most expensive, AT&T or Sprint, and I think that Verizon's also very expensive. T-Mobile could have been very expensive too. Like I said, I go through Metro by T-Mobile because I want a pay-as-you-go plan. They're so much cheaper. My Lord. Yeah, that they'll dupe you. They will dupe you. They'll talk you into it. I had family walk into Verizon about 3 years ago, and they took them to the cleaners. They sold him a new phone, her a new phone, and they get home and they're like, I said, "What's your bill now?" "Oh, it's like $389 a month for 3 phones." "Yeah, but look, we're going to get these wonderful phones, and they're ours." "Yeah, and by the time you're done paying for them, they're not worth shit. You throw them out. You're going to pay on them for 2 years. They're only good for 2 years. The average cell phone lasts 18 months in service. Moon Goddess, if you have a Verizon phone, yes, they will have it locked to Verizon. That's correct. But if you buy one on Amazon, you can buy an unlocked phone. If it's an unlocked phone, then it will work with a SIM card from any of the companies. So that's what you have to do. You have to get the unlocked phone, you know, from Amazon. It just seems to be the best way to do it. So yeah, so I've got this old Motorola that I've had for a long time. It's a terrible phone, but on the flip side, it's a good phone. It's lasted a long time. It's just very slow and cumbersome. I replaced this with an S10, and then I destroyed it by accident, and I went back to the backup phone. Then I bought an S20, switched it into that, used that for about 6 months. It died. I switched back to the backup phone again. So this is the 3rd time this phone's been in service, and it's still going like a trooper. It's a Motorola. It's a good phone. I much prefer Samsung equipment, though. This one I bought is the Samsung S20, the Galaxy S20, and that is a really good phone. The only bad thing is it doesn't have headphone plug. But I rarely use the headphone plug, so I'm just going to live with it. I don't use Bluetooth. I won't use Bluetooth because I'll use Bluetooth for other things, but I'm not going to put a Bluetooth transmitter in my ear. I think that's problematic. So I'm not doing that. I learned a lot about RF radio frequency, and Bluetooth operates on a microwave frequency. And they want you to put these things that talk to your phone two-way in your ears and have them sit in your ears for hours at a time, transmitting electromagnetic energy through your brain. I think I'm going to pass. So what I'm going to do is they sell a little box, and you just take your headphones and you wrap them around this little box, and then when you want to listen to the thing, you just hit the little power button on this box and your headphones will work. It's no big deal. I want regular wired headphones. All right, that's it. You're out. Come on. Fucking bull in a china shop. There ain't much left to knock over. Everything I own's on the floor in here. God bless. I love that cat, but he just walks through shit and it's like parting the Red Sea with all of my equipment. All right, let's see. Well, Yanni, nobody's perfect. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm the opposite of you. I hate Apple. I hate what they've done to the space. Apple has over corporatized, overcharged, overhyped everything they've ever done. I'm surprised their computer doesn't have a coin slot where you put more money in. Do they make good equipment? Hell yes, it's good equipment. It's the best equipment on the market. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your skirt. All right? I don't like Apple, but they make the best shit there is. Samsung makes really good stuff too, though. Is their programming good? Yes, sure it is. Their operating system's great. It's based on Linux. It's a good operating system. So why do I hate Apple so much? Well, because most apps for Apple cost money. Most apps that I use, I haven't paid for an app in years. I can't remember the last app I paid for because most of them are free for Android or I just build my own. So I don't like Apple. These guys at work, they're all talking about, oh, look at here's my Apple laptop. I spent $2,200 on it. I'm like, really? Yeah. Here's my Ryzen 9 laptop that'll outpace and outspeed yours. And I paid $1,300 for mine. So, you can get a lot more bang for the buck if you're careful and you buy the right things. Apple's kind of more like a sure deal. You buy an Apple, it's going to be good. I'm not going to argue with that. I don't like the way their operating system works. I don't like the way their plugs work. There's a lot of things about Apple I don't like, but they do have superior equipment in a lot of ways. So I guess my problem is mostly the proprietary nature of Apple. Just the fact that Apple's number one priority is to make money off of you. And I'm not one of these people, I hate rich people. No, all their jobs are to make money off you. I understand that. But Apple over the years has gouged. Apple over the years has taken advantage of your love for Apple, unfortunately. It's true. And they start charging for this and charging for that. It's just way too expensive. Apple iPhones costing $1,200, $1,500. I just bought a Samsung S20, which is it's currently not top of line because they've come out with 3 since then. But this phone will take pictures every bit as good as that Apple. It has 3 amazing cameras on one side and one on the other. Its processor's just as fast. Everything works just as good. But I only spent $150 on it, and I own it. So I guess when it comes to Apple or Samsung or Apple and Windows, let's say, it's a preference thing. If you've got the money and you don't like to, jailbreak your programs, you don't like to go into the back end of stuff, you don't like to build things and be real creative with programming and stuff like that, Apple's probably the way to go. If you got the money, Apple's the way to go. Me, I would hate it because I backwards tweak everything. I change everything. I like to go in and rewrite the code and things like that. And you can't do that with Apple as much. And I remember Macintosh. I think I had an Apple IIe for a while. I think that was the only Apple I have ever owned. A buddy of mine gave me his old Apple IIe, and I was using that for a little while. But still, I preferred my IBM Model 12 or Model 10, whatever it was, or I preferred my Commodore 64 Basic. I don't know. I was never much on Apple. But yeah, I'm not an Apple guy, but I don't hate it. I see the benefits of it. Also, there's a lot of people that are in my business that do video editing and stuff, and they swear by it. They say it's a much better editing suite on Apple than you can get on Android. I can't really speak to that. I do all of my editing on Android, and I can do anything and everything I want it. Or I'm sorry, on Windows, and I can do everything and anything I want to. So it's pretty good either way. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here. Let's go to the next topic. Yeah, the Galaxy 7s were good. I had a Note 5, and then I went to a Galaxy 8 and a Galaxy 9 and a Galaxy 10, and now I just bought the S20, which is the Galaxy 20. So yeah, I'm sold by Samsung. I've got Samsung TVs and different things. Now, I won't go spend a lot of money on it, but if I go in the secondhand store and there's 7 TVs there, I buy the Samsung every time. Let's see here. What's wrong, Mama? What happened? He's outside. I put him out. Okay. All right, so another story here from Coast to Coast AM. A Washington man arrested for allegedly breaking into a church daycare center provided cops with a rather unusual explanation for his presence in the building: ghost hunting. According to a local media report, the unnamed suspect was busted by police early Tuesday morning after cameras detected an intruder in the building, which belonged to a neighboring Jesus Disciples Family Church in Tacoma. Cops arriving on the scene did not have to look far for the man, as he was discovered trying to flee the scene by scaling over an 8-foot-tall fence surrounding the property. Well, that's indicative of ghost hunters, right? I know the whole time I was a ghost hunter, I used to run from the cops and climb fences too. Whatever. Upon being questioned by police, the suspect initially asserted that he was there in search of higher education, presumably through the teachings of the church. When that explanation fell on deaf ears, the man then told cops that the situation was all innocent mistake, as he was actually thought that the building was abandoned. Likely realizing that police would not be buying this second story, the suspect pivoted yet again and claimed that he had been ghost hunting within the structure. Beyond it being his third implausible reason for being in the building, the lack of any paranormal investigating equipment or a cadre of fellow spirit seekers undoubtedly made the man's story pretty dubious at best. Oh, hold on, let me let my mom out. What are you doing? You want to go out? Want to go out? Scratching means you want to go out. Also working against the suspect, who unwisely opted to eschew his right and remain silent, was that he admitted to police that he had smoked clear the street name for crystal meth before embarking on his purported ghost hunt. The man was subsequently arrested and charged with second-degree burglary for his misadventures that night, and will likely wind up haunting him for quite some time. Well, there you go. That's from Coast to Coast AM. Catch Coast to Coast tonight. In the first half, George Norrie's going to have Tim Orr Schwartz. He's a producer. He's going to discuss the groundbreaking life and inventions of Nikola Tesla. He will also delve into his latest work, The Persistence of Ghosts, examining theories about the nature of ghosts and the intriguing consistency of ghostly encounters across the world. In the second half, Coast to Coast's investigative reporter Cheryl Jones presents her interview with Dr. Mark Pitzik, who shares provocative evidence that human souls live on after physical death. With over 40 years of experience in hospitals, mental health crisis centers, and private practice, Pitsnick delves into the deathbed miracles, angels, visitation, and visions. That's all tonight on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, broadcasting on over 650 radio stations in North America. Check it out. Starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. on the West Coast. But check that out. And you can also go to their website, Coast to Coast AM. You have to put the AM in there, coasttocoastam.com. And they actually are posting old Art Bell shows that you can listen to called the Art Bell Vault, and you guys can check that out. So check it out, Coast to Coast tonight with George Norrie, 1 p.m. Eastern, on talk radio stations all across the country. If you need to listen to it, you don't know where to listen to it, you can get it on my station. Type in TuneIn. That's TuneIn 925 Fox News. TuneIn 925 Fox News, and will be the first thing that comes up, and you can listen to it right there on my station. And you can listen to our car ads from down here. That's interesting. I don't know a lot about that, Yanni, but that's interesting. I do know one of the neatest things that happened when I was a ghost hunter was when we found out it wasn't a ghost, because that was pretty cool too. We had one case one night where the lady called us and she said, look, every time I have company over to my house, they see ghosts. I'm like, what? So we go there. Sure enough, it always happens in the same bedroom. It always happens at 2:10 in the morning. They wake up in bed and they see a ghost. It's happened to 3 different people now. Well, it didn't take us long to figure out what it was. There's a pool pump right on the other side of the wall, mounted to the wall, right on the other side of the wall, from where this person's head was in the bed. The windings in the pump were going bad, and it was putting out a huge electromagnetic field when it was running. The timer set for 2 a.m. in the morning. So the pump would come on, charge the person's brain with electromagnetic energy. They would wake up and see the same ghost. We had the same thing happen in room 185, I think it was, at Clewiston Inn. Same thing happened there. People were getting up in the middle of the night. They would see different ghosts. A lot of times it was a woman in a white dress sitting on the end of the bed. And it happened to so many people that we knew there had to be some truth to it. We started checking. There's a three-phase 440-volt power line, like in the old days, that runs up underneath this room on the way to the main power junction box for the entire hotel. We started checking that, and as the night goes on, the electromagnetic field increases. I don't know why exactly, but we figured that out. We actually saw orbs in that room with our own eyes, glowing orbs. We were seeing all kinds of things. And none of the guys some of the guys were like, I'm going to sleep in there. And then they all chickened out because it's a lot of electromagnetic energy. I don't think I'd want to sleep in there either. But we were able to debunk that. Mama, what? All right, well, let me see what I got. He's made such a mess in here. I don't know where. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. believe it or not, she was over there digging in her water bowl. She was letting me know her water's out. She has a way of doing that. She's been outside all day, so I hadn't checked her water in here. How could you not love Taco Bell? I'm serious. I mean, I want you to think about it, and seriously, how can you not like Taco Bell? Seriously. By the way, they still have the enchilada. I've officially bought 8 of them so far since they came back out with them. Yeah, so get by Taco Bell and make sure that you buy the enchilada, because we want to show them how important it is that they keep making those enchiladas at Taco Bell. That's right. Okay, let's see here. Oh boy, Moon, is your power out? They replaced the pole behind my house 2 mornings ago, and we were without power for 4 hours. But we knew it was coming. They called me the day before. They were very nice. Pike, I don't know if you guys have Pike in your area. They do all of like the infrastructure replacement in this area. Splund does all of the tree service stuff, and Pike does most all of the infrastructure switch out. These guys from Pike were great. They called me the day before and said, hey, we're going to shut your power off. We're changing that pole out behind your house. And I helped them and facilitated them into my yard to get to it and the whole thing. And they did a great job. But we were without power for 4 hours. It kind of sucked. The good news for me, yeah, buddy, I got one of these. Actually, I got several of these. This is the big one. I got one of these. And so while I'm in here without power, all my lights and all my shit and all my tablets and my phones, everything was still plugged in, charging, running. So, yeah. Yeah, a splund. I believe is how you pronounce it. A splund, I guess. Anyway, yeah. Big orange trucks, and then Pike has white trucks. Making your own. You know, I love homemade tacos. I like the what is that one I buy? It's the yellow box. What is it? El Rancho or whatever it is. It's why am I having a hard time remembering the name of that? It's the one I bought since I was a kid. It's the yellow box. And I get the one and I make the ground beef or the chicken or whatever it is. I normally do ground beef. Zippity-yay. Oh, boy. Yeah. Makes me kind of wish I miss Disney. I really I miss what Disney used to be. I really want to go back to Disney, but I don't want to go back to Disney. I'm having this weird thing. The giant sunspot on the sun, but it's quiet. It's got a stable magnetic field right now, but we are watching it. It's gonna anything that comes out of it over the next 3 days will be geo-effective, so we're to keep an eye on it. But not a lot going on space weather-wise. Auroras can be seen over much of Canada right now, but it doesn't quite stretch down into the lower 48. All right, that's space weather. I'll tell you, the Democrats are starting to get nervous. This idiot Carville's on here going off. He is the actual old man that waves his cane at the moon, by the way. But But yeah, right now they're nervous. What happened in New York has got the left nervous, the liberals nervous, and I'll tell you why. They unseated two, I believe it was two incumbents that were mainstream hardcore liberals. And there was a third one that was a mainstream hardcore liberal, and they all three lost their primary bid to three socialists, devout socialists, Democrat Socialists of America, card-carrying commies. All right? What does that mean? The left is getting beat out by the commies. See, we've always had a communist party here in this country, and they never get more than 1,000 votes every time. But now what they've done is, instead of trying to do their own party, they're now taking over the Democrat Party. That's what they're doing. So now you've got Kami Memdami, and now they're going to be sending, because in New York, kind of like in Florida, but the other way around, if you win the primary in New York and you're a Democrat, you win. Same thing in Florida. If you win the Republican primary in Florida, you've got the job. You just have to wait. Because the general election in Florida is always won by Republicans. Because there's just so many more of us down here. The Democrats really don't have a chance. We're going to be Moon Goddess. We're going to be doing a few more moderators coming up. So I'm going to be appointing a few more moderators. That's what happens if you get the blue. It's because you're a moderator. I'm not nearly logical enough to be a Vulcan. I'm more like a Romulan, which is a Vulcan with an attitude problem and a rage issue. So anyway, the Democrats are getting really nervous right now because their party's being hijacked by communists, and I'm loving it. I love it. They're going to destroy it. They're going to just tear each other up. This will be 20 years for the Republican here. Because the left is coming apart at the seams right now. You've literally got half the party that are these crazy, I mean, just absolutely leftist, whacked out, crazy
of MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+.
Where everybody's gay and everybody's different and everybody's black and everybody's brown and everybody's yellow and this is just going crazy. And you got half the Democrats right now that are saying, you know what? I didn't really like the whole LGBTQIA2S plus thing. I didn't really much like that. But I went with it because my party went with it. But now this commie thing, I can't go that far. That's a road too far. And a lot of leftists are considering that to be a road too far. Which means it splits the party. Okay? And that's going to be wonderful for us coming up. D Beard, I agree with you. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I agree with you. I think ever since that Delaney mess a while back, I think all the funding's been pulled from the protesting. All the protesting I see now is organic. It's all organic or it's all media. I don't see any bust-in labor unions or bust-in protesters that are getting paid or any of that. It doesn't seem to be happening and hasn't been happening for 2 or 3 weeks now. And I think part of it could be the left. Some of the people on the left are probably saying, look, guys, this is not working. Okay, the bear on the skateboard is not changing anybody's mind. The frog costume is not changing anybody's mind. The washed-up wedding singer that can't sing is not changing anybody's mind. And maybe what we're doing now is we're showing them that the crazy people are actually crazier than they thought. And so I have to at some point wonder if we're literally going to split the Democrat Party between the crazies and just the people that are odd. Because a lot of your Democrats left the party over the last 30 years because the party left them. They were labor people. They were blue collar. They were union workers. They were true-blooded, true blue Americans, blue dog Democrats. And there was nothing wrong with that back then. But their party left them. And now their party's leaving another batch of them. And that's the moderates. They're literally leaving the moderates behind. They're outlefting themselves. And then now we've got this extremist left now that's everything is about race. Everything is about LGBTQIA2S, MMLS2+. Everything is about identity and you know, everything is about genders and being misgendered and all this kind of stuff. And people were getting sick of that. They are getting sick of that. The people in the middle that decide presidencies are sick of that. Okay? And hence the Trump landslide. Now, what's happening is these crazies over here, the 30% of the people in the country that are crazy leftists, are dividing in half. You've got liberals and you've got socialists. And they're two very different groups of people. And they're dividing every day. And this is a positive thing for America. Okay? They'll never be able to consolidate power again as long as their party is divided like this. And with all these socialists getting in, we're going to have all these people that are socialists serving in our Congress next year. Give us a few more likes, guys. Throw a thumbs up in there. We'd appreciate it. New Supreme Leader and Master of Galaxy. I like that. My pronouns are leave me and alone. Yeah. You know what? I don't care. I don't care what people call me. I don't know. Yeah, Moon, that's very similar to what I say. When someone says, "Oh, you misgendered me. I'm a woman," and they obviously are sporting twig and berries, I just look right at them and say, "Look, I'm not into cosplaying this week." So, and if I'm going to cosplay, I'll do Star Trek, not a woman's ball gown or something. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Craziness, man. Craziness. All right, we're coming up on 11 o'clock, guys. What else do we have out there? What else do we got? Anything else you guys want to mention? Man, that air's working good tonight. It's nice in here. It's 73 in here. It's very nice. Yeah, I gotta go soon too. I'm tired. I've been on very late the last 2 or 3 nights, and I've had all kinds of issues too. Tonight, no issues. I'm just gonna go to bed. I think I figured the pump problem out. I did. what I realized was the coupler that goes into the intake on the pump is 1.25 inches. And when the pump's going on and off, I can hear it, and it drips back there. So I know what's going on. That plastic going into back of my pump has slowly worked itself to where the air is seeping by. And what happens is, if I don't run the pump for a while, if the tank's full and no one flushes a toilet or anything, it'll sit there and lose its prime. It'll drip out the water and have a big air knot in there, and that's it, no prime. And then I have to hook the priming hose back up and all the bullshit. I went and bought a gas ball valve, because I'm stopping air. And then I bought a brand new spigot, and I also have a cap that goes on the spigot. So I got to make sure that the intake for the primer doesn't leak, because I think it was seeping air too. When you're on the intake side of your pump, nothing can leak. It has to be sealed, because if it leaks the slightest bit, your pump will lose prime. Old Man Build tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. I wish I could watch it. I'm on the Trey Radel show at 5 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, it loses prime. It is what it is. Like I said, I got a way to pump my second pump back into the first pump again to prime it. And I think that spigot is leaking. So I replaced the spigot. I also put a gas ball valve in there, and I put a cap on the spigot. So it's triple stop now. So I know that's not going to leak anymore. And I also taped everything too, nylon tape. And then, but now, Saturday morning, I'm going to go out there. I got a little chair I bring out there, and I'm going to sit there in my pump house, in my little pump house, and I'm going to cut that and spin that back off of the back of my pump, and put a new one on there and get it all put on to where it's really tight and it doesn't leak. And then once that goes on, that should be it. I should be good from then on. I've been dealing with this for a while, and I've been thinking our well was going dry, because a number of wells in this area have gone dry, but most of them have started working again because we're getting rain now. And mine's still bad. So now I'm realizing all this time, it wasn't necessarily that it was having a real hard time with the prime, as much as it was losing its prime while the pump was off because of the air seepage into the back end of the coupler there. So anyway, here we go. Whoops. That link didn't work, but I think I see why. Let me see if I can just put it in this way. Well, there you go. I can show these real quick if you want. This is for Merlin. Here we go. These are the pictures he sent of the aurora. Very nice, 3 colors. That's nice. You got green, and you got pink, and you got purple. That's really nice. Look at that, some beautiful color. Very nice. And where were these taken from? Yeah, those are really nice, dude. Seriously. Oh, shit. I never hit the button. Hold on. Let me, shit. Here we go. Here's the pictures, guys. Let me show you what they look like. They got the purple on the top and the green on the bottom. It's rare that you see 3 colors in a single aurora like that. That's really pretty. Yeah, no, I got it. What happened was the second part of it didn't link, but I was able to grab it all. Um, but yeah, there you go. This is the links he sent. These are the pictures, beautiful pictures of the aurora. Very nice. All right, so there you go. All right, so what else do we got? Anything else, guys? Last call for the chat room. I've been on 2 hours now, and I'm not going to stay on late tonight. There's no reason to. I'm very tired. Looking at tomorrow's outlook for severe weather, we can take a quick peek at that real quick. All right, here's the outlook for tonight. And here's the outlook for tomorrow. Not near as much going on tomorrow. Also, day 3, back up near North Dakota and North Carolina, Virginia, but still only a 2 out of 5. Not really too bad. So the next 2 days, the weather's not going to be all that much of a factor. All right, Moon Goddess. Well, thanks for coming in. All right, everybody, I'm going to sign off as well. Does anybody, last call in the chat room, anything anybody else wants to say before we sign off? This is going to be it. It's going to be the big goodbye. Well, okay, it's just a little goodbye because we'll be back tomorrow. Oh, God, what happened? Let's see here. What's this all about? FIFA faces pressure to discipline the 2026 World Cup co-host Mexico after anti-gay chant returns via Czechia. The slur was heard at least 3 times during the 3-0 win on Wednesday, but officials allowed play to continue. Something about this FIFA that's pissing me off. They're policing speech. They don't allow the players to cover their mouth because they're not allowed to say things. There's things they're not allowed to say. And now they're wanting to punish the team because the people in the crowd were chanting something. I'm so sick of these snowflakes everywhere. Get over it. They say the anti-gay slur that has been chanted by Mexico fans could lead to discipline from FIFA for the squad of one of the host countries in the 2026 World Cup. There were at least 3 instances during this over there, Mexico's 3-0 victory on Wednesday night where the anti-gay slur was chanted by fans. The specific chant has caused stoppage of play during past matches and has even led to fines for Mexico. However, officials allowed play to continue despite it being heard throughout the crowd. The chant is directed at the opposing goalkeeper, and though FIFA has tried to get the fans to stop, it made its return on Wednesday night. Now it's up to FIFA to try to potentially discipline and control the speech of Mexico yet again. During the 2018 World Cup, FIFA showed it would discipline a country for its fans' actions as well. I'm hating FIFA, just so you know. I hate FIFA. There's one good thing coming out of FIFA, and it has nothing to do with soccer. I love that all these people are coming here and finding that our country's great. They're discovering Buc-ee's, and they're discovering Waffle House and Taco Bell. They're discovering ranch dressing, and I think it's great because over in Europe, the liberal media has taught them all in Europe for years that America's shit. And they come here and they're going, America's not shit. This place rocks, okay? And they've been telling the whole world how great America is. That's the only good thing that's come out of FIFA. I hate this World Cup shit. I'd cancel it if I was king today. I hate it. Between all the speech stifling and all the bullshit and all the stupid advertisements and taking over all the channels and all the stupid bullshit. I hate it. I'm sick of it. Other than that one good thing that's come from it. Hearing that guy talking about finding Buc-ee's. This French guy finds Buc-ee's. He goes, Buc-ee's. He said he got a bag of beaver nuts. He didn't even know what they were. He said he got a bag of beaver nuts. He took them to his car and he ate one. And he says once he bit into the first one, he ate the remaining entire bag like a rabid animal, he says. I love shit like that. The TSA actually put out a warning that you could not carry more than 8 fluid ounces of ranch dressing on your flight. They were all wanting to take home gallon jugs of Hidden Valley ranch dressing. That is fun. That's cool. That's the only good thing that came from this debacle. FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations in the world. Look it up. You don't need me to sit here and read it off to you. Look it up. It's been one after another after another. And this bullshit, this is free speech. This is free speech. And if you're going to, I understand that the Constitution protects you from government and not from sports organizations. Okay? But that doesn't make this right. All right? That doesn't make this right at all. You're going to fine their team because the people in the stands said a word that you didn't like, you fucking snowflakes. I get so sick of snowflakes. I get so sick of people that don't like my language and don't like me talking about this and don't like me talk. Get a skin, for Christ's sake. Get a skin. They're hurting their team because the fans said something they didn't like. Now, here's the thing. If they were yelling, Jew bastard, it would have been fine. It'd have been okay. If they were yelling, honky cracker piece of shit, it would have been fine. It would have been fine. Now, if they were yelling the N-word, that would have been a problem. That would have been bad. All right? You see how this works? It's not that you're saying something, it's what you're saying. You could go out there and yell, hate Jews, and that'd be perfectly fine. But you go out there, hate Palestine, you've got a problem. This world is bad about this, where we don't even police all speech. We just police certain kinds of speech. We police the certain speech that we don't particularly like. Well, the goalie's gay, so you can't say any gay slurs or we're going to fine your team $50,000. Yeah, it's that absurd. It's that absurd. Yeah, Lambert, I have been shadow banned for a long time now. I'm a conservative channel. YouTube generally does this to all conservative channels. The algorithms are designed in such a way that I don't get new impressions. The only time I get new people is when you people tell people that I'm here. I really don't get a lot of help from YouTube. What I've gotten, I've earned organically on my own. I watched a guy today that was doing talking about civil rights or something, and he'd been doing his channel about as long as I've been doing mine. He goes on about 3 times a week. He's in his spare bedroom. You can see laundry in the background, okay? He's put no time, no effort, no energy, no equipment, no nothing. He just sits there and talks to the screen. He's got 140,000 subscribers. But he doesn't do conservative politics, that's why. So I don't know what to do about it. There is no other service that does what YouTube does. So I'm kind of just stuck here. I will become successful on here if I remain diligent and I keep finding people like you guys that will get the word out and keep the algorithms going. We'll make it. You want me to play this? I can play this. I don't know if I'll get in trouble, though. Is this your video? If it's yours, I can play it, right, Merlin? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys ever got alerts. My alerts don't go out. Do you guys ever get alerts that I'm going live? I mean, anyway, yeah, this is from Merlin, guys. It's a video he made, and here, yeah, I'll play it real quick before we go.
The cat that likes pizza, running through the alley, got a
Here are 11 ways Brian Epstein helped save or transform the Beatles. The exact number is a matter of interpretation, but these are the major things that are often credited to him. See, his friend is my uncle, Mike Garland, Mike McGrath. So he believed in them when the industry didn't. He saw something special in the band. Many record companies rejected them. 2, he turned them from a club act into a professional group. Year after year, he pushed them toward a cleaner stage image, including suits, coordinated appearances, and disciplined performances. He created the Beatles' image. Their humor, charm, manners, and style became part of the package, not just the music. He got them out of Liverpool club circuit. Not that it's a bad place. He worked to move them from local popularity into the national spotlight. He pursued a record deal relentlessly. After early rejections, he kept looking for someone willing to take a chance on them. He helped secure the partnership with Prolophone and George Martin. That pairing became crucial to their sound and career. He protected their reputation. He helped manage interviews, appearances, and public behavior at times. When one bad moment might hurt a young man, he negotiated opportunities. Tours, television appearances, and publicity all depended on someone organizing and publishing those doors open. He had handled the business side so they could focus on music. The Beatles could write and perform while Epstein dealt with contracts, schedules, and logistics. He helped them become acceptable to a wider audience. His polished presentation bridged the gap between rock and roll excitement and mainstream acceptance. He gave them confidence before they were world famous, before the world saw them as legends. Epstein treated them like they were worth investing in. Thank you. Please subscribe.
God damn this fucking audio. Whatever. I don't care. I'm leaving. All right, Incognita, thanks for coming in. Oh, you did get a Leering Center daycare hoodie. I love it. I don't know why the audio's not working. I don't give a shit. All right, guys. Everybody have a good night out there. Apparently the audio's out, so I don't think you can hear me anyway, but that's okay. All right, everybody. I hope that we'll hope to see you back tomorrow. And everybody have a great night out there. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name's Ian. We have been live on Starship Adventures, a channel on YouTube, the world's largest broadcast platform that does discriminate against conservative websites like mine. But anyway, we're still here and we're still going. And I hope that you guys will join us again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode right here on Starship Adventures. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. 7-3s. 7-3s. This is the YouTube channel Starship Adventures, broadcasting live from Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, in the United States of America. We thank you for joining us this evening for another broadcast of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, covering every breaking news story across this troubled planet of ours. We brought you the raw, unfiltered pulse of the world in real time through our unique multi-screen format, broadcasting in high definition worldwide via fiber optic connection. Starship Adventures, a new kind of YouTube content. To our regular viewers, our loyal crew members, our amazing moderators, and everyone who tunes in each night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we thank you. Your support keeps this independent voice alive and well. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with another live edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on Starship Adventures. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and may God bless you and these United States of America. This is Starship Adventures, and this concludes our broadcast day. Good night, America, and around the world. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra, signing off. QSY, 7-3s, everyone, 7-3s.